Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Headspace Podcast bonus episode where we're going to be talking about Rat Boy's internationally unknown album that dropped very recently when this video comes out. So, maybe in the future, it's not recently. Okay, hold it. My name is HSR.
My name is Chris Chrome.
And we will be going through this Rat Boy project, track by track, giving our thoughts, our ideas, our experiences, what struck out to us as we go through it. That's what we do over here. So for those of you that don't like the intro, check the description of the video. You can skip ahead to when it starts or whatever fucking song you want to hear us blabber on about. For those of you that want to know a bit about who we are, we're just regular folk on a quest to understand music better. Typically, we're doing the hip-hop stuff. Rat Boy's a in-betweener, so fuck it. Rat Boy's here. And, in-betweener. And we're not necessarily experts or anything, so chances are you coming to this review, you know more about Rat Boy than we do, and you've listened to the music longer. For me, it's been less than 48 hours. It's basically my entire exposure to Rat Boy's existence.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. So just to give you some context. So what that means is if you have any comments to educate us, correct us, or just add on to anything that we're saying, it's extremely welcome and encouraged that we can get a proper community going up in the comments. I'll talk to you. I answer everybody. We're small enough for me to do that. And before we jump into the review today, special thanks to the patrons Linda Williams, Super Old School 1994, Chris Prado, and Ismail Gadamsi. They helped us get a new camera, and we are fiddling with the settings video by video, and we'll quality it, and in a couple of weeks it'll probably work right. Last video, the focus was fucked up. Hopefully it's good in this one. We locked the focus. I hope I did it right. I don't know. I'm really bad at some of this shit. Anyway,
let us know in the comments if you think things change.
And let us know if you notice any specific settings, like adjust the saturation. I mean, any of those things, feel free. Chris, what album are we going through today?
So, for the Headspace bonus album review, we're going with Rat Boy's Internationally Unknown.
Have you heard of Rat Boy before today?
No, I didn't hear about Rat Boy until, I would say, 24 hours ago.
Perfect.
When I woke up Friday morning.
So, on top of that, we discovered something else on Spotify that we don't know anything about. But we reviewed Boogie just before, Eminem's new artist. And we're reviewing Rat Boy. And then there is an artist called Rat Boogie, just so you know. That's not really related to much.
That's just
it just happened to come up, and I thought it was an amazing life.
No, it happened because you found out Yay Boogie was a thing.
So that's not good on this one. The Rat Boogie makes sense. Anyway, I never heard of Rat Boy either, and part of that is because he's 22. He's very young, which makes him really impressive. He's from, I believe it's Essex in England, which also adds to probably why I haven't heard of him before now. It also might explain part of the album title being internationally unknown, and I am international relative to Rat Boy. He is unknown up until this point in terms of our histories together. Like, I've never heard of him, and he was right, but I do believe he's getting some international knownness going on at this moment. But yeah, I don't know what led me to him, but his wiki page said he blended hip-hop and punk, and I was like, sold, let's go check that shit out. And then I heard the album, and spoiler alert, this is like a sweet spot of shit that I like. I believe he's working with Tim Armstrong. I don't know how much was produced by him, but there was definitely songs that were produced by Tim and his band, and honestly, I like Rancid a lot. I like Transplants a lot. This is stuff that when I was young really formed some of my later taste in music. And so I guess we'll get into it in a little bit. But before we do that, what do you think of this cover and this title?
Well, the title, I feel like he's kind of addressing that he's not superstardom yet. He's still on that rise. He's still in that he's still on that grind to succeed. That's kind of where I got from being internationally unknown. He could be locally known, super big where he's from, but given, he's probably internationally not. The cover of the album though seems very just kind of edgy. I don't know how else to explain it. Just it's black and white. It kind of looks like it was just drawn. It kind of looks really.
It's got a lot of black and white boxes.
Like sketched a bit. Like it's full. It's kind of sketched out. It doesn't really look fully complete, but it does look complete. So. I don't really know what to say.
Well, it's like you got this big old zombie person with a hole in their head. Like somebody's like dead. You got like a car. I think you've got like a bunch of like a mask or something, a street corner, you know.
From what I understand, they're a group of people though, right?
Well, I feel like it's a lot of separate things woven together in more like a montage, right? Like it's almost like this album is a culmination of the various hectic things going on. And I like that it's in black and white because it really just does look like somebody just drew it. Like even he did it himself. Maybe he didn't, or somebody he cares about did. And that was like really cool. And yeah, it's just there's so much little details to look at that I find you just get kind of enthralled by like staring at it for a second. And it's really a cool.
It's like the longer you stare at it, the more different things you kind of notice.
Yeah, it's really well done in terms of what it is. And I also think it really fits like the energy of the album. Like you don't know that going in, but after you hear it, it's like it fits. It makes sense. And I don't know how exactly to explain that. Another thing is his name's capped out and the song titles are all caps. I don't know if that's a thing he does, but I personally hate that shit. That's just my preference. Yeah, I don't know. You want to jump in?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, Chris, you got a chip on your shoulder. Okay, so this shit's produced by like Tim Armstrong's band Timebomb, which is so fucking cool just in general. Like I said before, I was a fan of their work. And you just feel it. So like the music, just the overall punkiness to it, the excellent fucking drumming, the la 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 la, like it just has this energy to it that instantly hooks you in. It feels like youthful rebellion. It feels like proper, you know, but it also feels like the fucking late 90s, early 2000s. So that's when I was in high school. And I really like that anybody would like call back to that today. That's fucking cool because I almost feel like this album was made for me within 6 seconds of fucking hearing it. Lyrically, I can't call this kid like the greatest poet in life, but what he does do is sell the fucking shit out of like believability in this lifestyle and the energy that he's putting forth. Like rip dickies and I'm rolling around the city, something in my pocket, don't tell the committee. Gotta get the slime, pick the lock and drop crime for it's the last time you ever take what's mine.
Hey, bars.
And you get the sense that he's like a fucking grungy ass punk kid willing to do whatever the fuck he's gotta do to survive because life ain't easy and whatever, you know? The bar was quite nitty, so I got an Uber car share. If I get caught, it won't be a caution. I weren't the law abider in the past life, but now I gotta settle this and take punishment. Like, you know, he's got a chip on his shoulder and it flows into the chorus. So again, like he's taking the Uber home, respectably not drinking and driving because he got a little fucked up. He wasn't exactly the greatest person, and now he's trying to like get his life, it seems, on track almost and deal with shit. But the culmination of everything is that like really just punk ass fucking got chip on my shoulder and everybody knows it, repeating it, almost like singing it out with the la 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 la's under it. I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it has like, again, it's the energy and the vibe of it that I'm really sold on more than anything else. Like, you could just easily sing along to this. If you were live, you just want to be fucking jumping around. It's definitely some great head banging, but also like anthemic almost. Like, this is the type of shit where, like, if you're, I guess, into the sound, like, you just kind of want to go be comrades and in arms while bumping shit like this. At least for me. Like, it really, like, fueled a good thing in me. I don't know. It hit me like the second verse is fine. I like shit like I'm a sinner, put my hands up, I'll admit it. I need a permit, so I got permission to transmit it. I think his rhyming is well done. Like, as a rapper, he adequately raps, even if there isn't maybe the deepest amount of depth to it, even though that sentence sucked. There's like an actual understanding of the craft and the skill, and I think he's delivering well, and while staying true to himself, and like you almost feel like this is exactly how he fucking talks to people and shit, and I really enjoy the energy that he puts in here. So I gave this one a 4.25. I thought it was like a great start. It got me really interested in the project. It wasn't like absolutely next level, but it was short, sweet, talented, and like, it's like, why have I never heard of this guy before? Was literally what I was thinking when I was done with this track.
Absolutely, I agree. I like the energy, the way it starts off. You kind of get this like. Now, I wasn't in high school in like early 2000s, but I did have some like punk rock, and I did have some of that like type of sounding music around me. So I kind of felt a little bit nostalgic, a little bit younger when I kind of heard the sound of it. So that was really cool. I do like in verse 2. I do like a line where it goes, "No regrets, hands cuffed in a cop car, blood on my Louis shag. It's a blam. It was the principal. We thought he was invincible. Now we invisible 'cause I went biblical." And I like the wordplay. I kind of like how he's taking it to the next level of kind of like being a rebel, which leads me to believe like the chip on his shoulder is kind of like he's trying to fill that addiction, that void for thrill, that void for adrenaline, and that's why he's kind of maybe like acting out or whatnot, is kind of how I took it. In the first verse, with the Rip Dickies and I'm rolling through the city line, that just for me kind of just gave me that insight on what he's doing, on where he's kind of from, what to expect from him, what to expect from the group, because I feel like this is like he's the main artist, but I feel like he's got the group with him as well.
Well, I have no idea. I feel like Rat Boy is the main artist intentionally. Like this song was produced apparently by Tim Armstrong's band. I don't think they're Rat Boy. Rat Boy's
Right.
like the guy. So I do think in a sense this may have been more like hip hop in that Rat Boy is the artist and then the production and shit is handled by people he's working and collaborating with.
Okay.
However, there seems to be constant people in the music video, so he probably has like a
Because I
band
looked
of
at one of the
sorts.
older albums, and like on the cover of the album, I think it's like Scum. It's him and like 4 people behind him who I would think is the band.
Yeah, so I bet like if we're wrong, guys, you can feel free to correct us.
Yes,
His
please.
wiki page is pretty vacant, and there's not hella info on who's in the group. So I actually tried to figure that out. So sorry. Anyway, go on.
Well, I was actually just wrapping up. I also gave the song a 4.2. I think it was a really good way to start the album. As for being a very first song on a very first introduction to Rat Boy, it was heavily energetic, really right to the point.
Yeah.
You get what he's trying to say, and
That's right, Rat Boy. You got love from your Commonwealth brothers in Canada. All right, let's talk about how my name is Rat Boy, but it's not. It's Holden. You know, I guess what really impresses me about this song is that he really just almost doubles down on proving he can fucking rap, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's how he goes, like, with this. Like, first you got that really interesting chorus, the I switch, flip the beat up live, my name is Rat Boy. So, like, what does that tell us? I don't know exactly what he's trying to convey, but what I took from it is he is so fucking crazy and erratic, and he's just so himself that he doesn't even care. He'll switch to beat up mid-song if it suits his purposes. He is himself. There's nothing else like him. He's fucking Rat Boy. And as far as like an introduction goes, I feel like he introduced himself to me there. And then that's what this song is trying to like do a little bit. And he goes in a little bit faster with I seem a little crazy because the thought on my mind. I got the money in the bag, but I'm doing it fine. Got people coming for me and I don't know why. I got friends that got my back to the day that I die. And I love that because it's probably true. If you come from a rougher part of life, regardless to anywhere else in the world, and you're doing that hip-hop keep it real thing, you're going to end up with a track that kind of has this point to it where you're on your way up, you got enemies and shit, but you also got people who are with you and you got your back. And I love that camaraderie about him. He's also got like, don't tell me what time I got, so fuck your Rolex. People giving shit but never take. I see you and I know you're fake. You're just at stake. Give it a break. He's got that realness. Like he ain't got time for your fluffy shit. He doesn't care. He's a grungy. He's like, you know, you just get the sense that he's about his life, pursuing his passion. He's clearly into the music. Come on, verse 2 is dope. Blasting Wu-Tang from the car, regal driving down on the boulevard, you know. Notice us because the shit's so loud from the crowd, the whole whatever's proud. I mean, you just got like this again, this sense of his lifestyle and his energy. It's almost like Rat Boy is effectively giving you a sense of who he is as a person through the way what he's choosing to put into these rhymes and what he's doing with it. Plus the second verse and the first verse, they're different, right, in structure and flow in terms of how he's rhyming. The chorus is at like a completely different tempo than the verses. Everything keeps flipping up, and it's got this excellent fucking energy that still fits with the first one. I feel like this one's got a little more ska to it. I might be wrong. I'm not so good with the punky subgenre world. Sorry. But yeah, I like this one significantly more. This one was like, it's one I'm definitely going to be going back to. It's like, if I wasn't sold on Rat Boy with Chip on My Shoulder, I'm completely fucking sold at this point, and it's a 4.5 on 5.
I like the diversity he's showing. Right away, Chip on My Shoulder, you get that kind of authenticity, that uniqueness or whatnot. And then here, this is what proves to me that, yeah, okay, you can rap. Now, again, I say it, I'm a little bit biased. I'm into the double timing. I'm into the fast rapping, and Rap Boy is up there. Like, he might not be trickety like M or Tech or whoever, but he can keep up with fast rap. He understands, like the drumming and the speed and the tempo. So right away, I was
bounces off everything. So
absolutely. So I was already pretty impressed. The fact that he, like, coming into the second track of the album, he just gives you the same energy that he kind of carries in the first song, where like it's that heavy, rambunctious, like ready to go, but then and it's like super speed, and you're like, holy fuck, like this is really good. This was really, really good to me. I like the Rolex line, because for me, it's kind of like he's out here like, don't tell me about what time I have left. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what you got to do, because you're too, like, for me, I took it as you're too focused on materialistic status. You're too focused on, like, with using the Rolex as being like a very pricey watch or whatnot. I feel like he's kind of like, not mocking, but like kind of taking shots at them. Possibly then. But kind of in a way like taking shots, like you're out here doing what you think is right when you're trying out here be like with change and shit, and I'm just here being ruggedy old me, just doing me, like doing whatever I think is great. So I really enjoyed that. I like how they're switching up the flows and bouncing around in context of the chorus, where, my name is Rap Boy, we can switch up the flow live, we can do this, we can do that. That's really taking it literally and going for it.
I mean, it's worth noting that Tim Armstrong is good buddies with Travis Barker, so you just know that means that the rhythms is going to be fucked up.
Absolutely. But yeah, I agree with you. The song's a 4.5 on 5. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we move ahead and talk about how we should not hesitate with Don't Hesitate. All right, Chris, you go first on this one.
So we were just kind of taking a little quick listen to it, and it's pretty funny how what we were hearing was the line murder on the news.
Oh, gosh, that's the best.
I wanted to start, I might as well start with that.
What's the following line?
Pardon?
It's important to then say the following line.
Say the following line.
Well, that much is true.
Right. And that right there is kind of like so desensitizing sounding. It sounds like they're used to having people dying in the city. It sounds like Rap Boy is just kind of like, oh, well, there's another body dropped. Well, this is another Wednesday. And
it's more than that, right? Because it's also the only true thing you're going to hear on the media.
Right.
Is when people are dead. At least, well, that's going to be fucking true, considering all the other bullshit that gets said.
So there's a level of like rawness to that, and there's a level of kind of scariness too. Like, just again thinking that you come from a place where people just die left and right, and you're used to this. Like, that's not something you should be used to, or at least be accustomed to. I feel like the song Don't Hesitate also kind of interpolates, like at one point they're like, we're standing right here, don't hesitate. I feel like they're kind of living on this like impulsive nature, just kind of living in the moment and doing what's right, not really taking back to think.
They are educated from the School of Hard Knocks, and snitches get stitches when you come from their block.
Yep. So they're kind of living in that like fast lane type life, and I feel that's what the song's also portraying. Like, don't hesitate, just make your move and don't look back. Kind of just like keep moving forward, keep pushing to try to do better or succeed or achieve the other outcome.
Yeah, and it's basically like paralleling what you would hear in a hood song where life is particularly bad. Murder and death is all around. It's like that bam, rat-a-tat-tat, kid got shot point blank in the back. All the homies said, well, he had it coming at only 14, that's a life for nothing. I know we've heard not a million, we've heard a whole bunch of stories just like that. And then we jump ahead in the song. I hear the tackles coming from the boys in blue, Here's a big difference. They don't have guns in the UK, so tackles I guess is what happens when the cops get involved. I don't really know. I haven't ever thought about that.
Unless it's like a literal tackle.
That's what I mean. I think it literally is a tackle.
Like the cops are chasing them down the street.
Because the cops aren't shooting them because there's no guns over there. Well, if I'm not mistaken, the cops don't have guns in the UK, is all I'm trying to say.
Well, there's guns in the UK. The UK
the cops don't carry guns, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I can't.
Like your regular street cops, they have billy sticks and shit, and they'll chase you down and beat you, if I'm not mistaken.
But I also think, like, Rat Boy seems to be like one of those skater type kids too.
Yeah, but
but
he's basically like, you gotta understand, like, the punk world is very much like the hip hop world and the poorer side of life. It's just kind of different in the specifics. So shit like violence and all of that stuff in a poorer community, it's the same shit. You know, it's just he happens to be doing the more punk version, is all I'm saying. But there's a lot of parallels, right? And you see them, like I'm saying, like the subject of this song may as well be any other song like this, only he's doing it in this way specific to his world. I thought it was fucking cool, man. I thought it was just as good as the last one. I feel like this one's a little more like slowed down, a little more almost like fun in a sense. It's kind of weird to say, but it's kind of fun as it's painting this like reality, but like it's almost like this crazy roller coaster ride that you're on. Like you're at an amusement park, but like it's really scary because of how fucking dark it really is. So I gave it another 4.5. Really cool fucking song.
For me, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, it's fine. Truth is though, I want to skate. This song is motherfucking awesome. It's fast. It comes in. It's like it's just the energy's next level, right? I mean, Tim Armstrong is apparently in the writing credits, so I'm pretty sure he helped produce the whole album because it's pretty, like, it feels like the production is all coming from the same place, but
consistent.
No, like the same people like did it, you know what I mean? But it's so fucking what I want in music in terms of the punk meets rap hybrids that I dream about in my fucking desires. Like, and it's so good to me, right? Just this is the fast. It comes in fucking hard. The whole song's done in like 2 minutes. And it just feels like, I can't believe we're actually reviewing this. Like, I can't believe this is what we're reviewing. I can't believe this came out in 2019. This is one of the most exciting sounds I've found since we've been reviewing in terms of like catering. Because like, I know I mostly do rap on this shit, but this kind of alternative punk is like one of my favorite fucking things in the world. That's all I'm trying to say. Nice. Plus, look at the fucking energy. You want it now? I want to wait. You want to Benz? I want to skate. And that's like a really interesting commentary on where he's at in life. 22-year-old wants to skate, live his life, do his thing. Whereas other people want to grind, make that money, get that fame. It's like he's not on that fame chase. He's trying to live that life chase. You know what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying, but I also kind of see it like he's also in that like, again, materialistic stuff, like wanting to be part of that world. Like, you in a Benz, I want to skate. It's like
he's saying he doesn't want to be part of it.
No, but right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
I was clarifying.
Like, he wants to, like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, skateboards aren't expensive and you can't, like, blah blah blah. No, but I'm saying, like, the difference is there's people out here who want to be known for what they got, be in that expensive car, be flashy, and he's just over here like, well, I want to fucking 360 kickflip and leave me alone.
Well, it's more like as a mode of transportation too. Some people want to be flashy with a Benz.
Right.
He just wants to kick off. Like, you want to, for me, it would be like, you want a Benz, I want to cycle, because I'm really into bicycling in the last couple of years. I can't even wait for the snow to go away. Montreal has awful snow this year, and our new mayor is not the best at snow removal, it seems. She tried an experiment. I slipped and landed on my ass twice on Friday. I digress. You just get the sense that this guy is like this little energetic dude ready to like take over the world. I'm gonna run him hard while they're taking us down. American trip. I'm just here for the fun. Young English boy about to hit it worldwide. Something, the single hit or miss. I don't give a fuck. I don't do it for crits. So evidently he's down there and he's gone to the States. He's chilling with Tim Armstrong and making a project, and he's kind of just letting you know that this is about making a dope ass fucking album that he wants to make. He don't give a fuck what the critics think. He doesn't care about what Behind That Suit reviews with HSR and Chris Chrome think about his fucking project.
Yes, they do.
He just isn't writing for them. He's doing this for himself and his expression and the real art form of shit. And I feel that energy and I believe him. That's why I gave this a 5. This is an amazing song. This is a song I love, and I've only heard it for a couple of days. It's so good. Chris does not feel the same as what I'm feeling from that face over there.
I gave the song a 4. Okay. I like the song. It's good. It is fast paced. It has the same energy. So far, the energy in the songs, even if like the tones of them vary, even if there's like really fast rap or whatnot, they kind of are consistent. So I'm really enjoying what he's presenting. I'm just like, I know that this isn't I'm not the target audience for this album, even though I might enjoy a lot of the music and I have different opinions on the album, but I know I'm gonna not really enjoy overall like the sound of the entire album. So
that's fair. You don't have to like it. I'm honestly, I'm surprised at how open-minded Chris is being. Last year he would have been a big old fucking hater on this shit. So we all grow, we all learn to love. We're gonna do more punk together. Let's talk about how he's now internationally known. We got you, rap boy. We in Canada. You're no longer internationally
unknown as the next song.
Not anymore, my friend.
Oh, shut up. Go.
Hey. We fucked up real bad. It's actually Follow Your Heart. Follow Your Heart's the next song. I kept all that other shit in because I thought it would be funny for you to watch us fuck up like this. It's Follow Your Heart.
Take a look around me. On the ground I see a message in the concrete.
This song is pretty motherfucking uplifting for how fucking bleak the lyrics are, no?
But I like it.
I like it too.
And I like how, and you know what? I really enjoy the positive message in it in regards to like trying to be supportive and wanting to like follow your heart and being all like happy, but also with this grungy type, like energetic, rebellious feel. I like when he goes in verse 1, so don't look back to what you couldn't change, now move forward, because last week's in the past, now keep moving forward, we almost at the end now. And it's like, it's this feeling of like, when I hear this music, I kind of feel like, oh, you're angry. I feel like you've been through some shit. You're experiencing some pain and stuff like that. And then to kind of have the other side, and you're like, this is somewhat uplifting. This is somewhat like supportive and makes me want to go and grind and get through my day and be all happy. Do you not feel like that?
Well, you got your verses, which are kind of painting a grim and dark reality. Like, it's not the happiest verses, like guard from them fakes and human trace, and it's rich and poor, everybody's wanting more. It's just kind of painting, like, what you see on the news, the overall attitude of life. And then you get like this chorus where it's a crazy world that we live in, follow your heart. When the storm outside is blazing, follow your heart. And the crux of his message here is that even though life is kind of fucked up and there's a lot of misleading messages and a lot of bullshit, you know, at the end of the day, just do what you think is right. Live the way that you think is proper and follow your passion. And, you know, that's kind of the solution almost. And it's pretty fucking cool. I like the second verse where he's like, they smashed that car at the edge of the road. The police are aware, but no one really knows. They said that he owed somebody money, but he was late, so they got him on a Monday. And it's heartbreaking when there's no way out. When there's no way out, they fill your head with doubt. Anyway, I guess I'll see you about. And if not, I'll assume you're locked or you got yourself out. So you kind of have him looking at a situation where I guess somebody got killed because in a smashed car at the edge of the road, right? Somebody owed somebody Monday, and he's just kind of pointing how you end up in this situation where you maybe make poor decisions, or it's a trap, or there's cycles going on, and it's really fucking bleak, and it's really bad going on. And at the end of the day, when he sees you, if he doesn't see you again, he's gonna know either you got or you escaped. You know, you broke out the cycle. And then if you look at the next chorus, he adds in the got yourself out. You know, like you can escape this bullshit that you're in. And then you have that outro where he's like, I think this is the end now. It's the end now. It's kind of like the end to the crazy world, and in more of a granular, like things are either so fucked up, but simultaneously it's the end because he's escaping it.
I kind of took it as the guy who got into the car accident went to jail. And that he's saying, like, you got to follow your heart. Like, when you deal with a problem like this, or, like, you know somebody who's in this situation, you kind of just have to do what's right for yourself. And he decided, like, you know what? Either you're still in, whatever, if you want to think of it metaphorically, like you're in the loop, you're in this chaotic, trap that you're in, or you're literally in jail. Or if I don't hear from you, then I'm going to assume the other. Maybe you got out and we're just not talking. But either way, I got to follow my heart. I got to do what's right for me.
Right.
Like that's kind of how I took it.
In terms of, kind of like changing and escaping the bad habits and whatnot.
Right.
But he kind of like sees these things happening and is making the choices for himself. But based on that, he's going to look at you and I guess the idea is if he doesn't see you again, it's because one of these things happened, because this is kind of the regular occurrence.
Right.
I don't know. I thought this was, again, a really fucking great song, and it really kind of adds like this whole context of like interestingness to the album, I think. So I gave it a 4.5 just because it's so uplifting and communal in light of its bleak, almost journalistic approach.
I give it a 4.2. I really enjoyed the positive, upbeaty boppiness to it, as much as, again, it's like there's like guitar, drums, rock and roll, punk, all these different elements, rap in there too. It still has this very like silly, wanting to kind of get up and just kind of be giddy for a little bit vibe to it in this grungy way. So 4.2.
All right, the next track on the album, halfway through, is the title song, Internationally Unknown. This song feels like big and stadium-y and like and it's ironic, right? Because he's internationally unknown, and you would typically be like an international star when you're doing.
But I
this
think
kind
it
of
suits
big
his like image of being that like outcasted.
Yeah.
Like that outcasted. I want to say reject, but I don't mean reject. Like just that image.
Totally, but there's an irony to having a song called Internationally Unknown about maybe how not famous you are.
And then having it sound like an anthem?
Yeah, but making it so anthemic that it almost belongs being played at the major stadium of every fucking city. I feel like maybe that was a deliberate choice, but I really enjoyed that. Then you got, again, some rappiness on the verses. I was born last in a family in a town where they never ever planned me, just like the others. Thank fuck we found each other, sitting smoking spliff, 16 undercover till undercovers. When I met my first lover, she broke my heart, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to like cut it off. It's just... you're getting this context into who he is. There's, like, as Chris put out, these outcasts, these rebels, these rejects of society who bonded together, these punks, these people who got their alternative life and figured shit out, you know? And then
These misfits of a sort.
I love how the second verse is shit like screaming real music ain't ever on the radio, ripping up my cigarettes, pulling out tobacco, don't let him know it's hid under my pillow. Looking back, now it don't seem too long ago. And it's just kind of like... you picture him like rolling joints and like just chilling out and hiding and just being a punk fucking kid roaming around, getting into trouble, but in like almost an innocent kind of way. Mm-hmm. And then that third verse is almost commentating on just, I guess, the exposure of media and shit that like everyone in fucking his generation is going through. Because he's young compared to me. Like there's a lot of things that have changed in the last 10 years. Like raised on a diet of free porn and stale bread. What a fucking cool idea, because, I didn't have free porn when I was young. That shit was only really accessible in my 20s, Stale bread, fresh ideas, content, it's not there. It's just crap. It's just this indulgence, Always started on by the boys on the mopeds, out late. We never went to bed. No street cred. I might as well have been dead. Just kind of, again, painting this picture of where he grows up and shit. And his attitude is just so consistent. And then that anthemic chorus and shit. I don't know. I'm going to give it another 4.5. I feel like this album is consistently hitting this sweet spot of nostalgia for me. The lyrics, not really that much, has been like blow my mind next level. But the delivery, the energy, everything else about it is fucking flawless to me.
I enjoy the song. I feel like there's this certain like energy to the song that kind of not takes away, but like I guess kind of confuses me a little bit, because I kind of see like this is supposed to be the anthem type song where it's like nobody really knows who you are or whatnot. But I also feel like maybe there's like this cry for help in a sense where it's like I feel like nobody will ever get me. I feel like nobody's ever going to know who I am. Nobody's going to take the time to really like want to get to know what I can do or what I can perform.
And there's also that desperation where he's like misled by government and the power. Now I work a dead-end job, minimum by the hour.
Absolutely.
Man, if I made minimum wage, holy shit. That would be very
But for
challenging.
me, the song came up to a 4.2.
It's cool. Anyway, why don't we move on then to So What? So I was trying to do my album review and I got to about So What. My girlfriend came in and wanted to fuck, and then I reviewed this song while having intercourse. And I think that Rat Boy would appreciate that, so I shared it with you in case Rat Boy watches. That's right, I got my nookie onto this song. Anyway, it's got this great motherfucking energy, and it kind of, you know, shows his like attitude floating through. Like, just look at this chorus. You know what? I lost my job. So what? Well, fuck that job. So what? Like that so what attitude. They don't care about us. We don't care about them. You know, a lot of employers treat their bottom end employees like absolute shit, and it's not the right way to motivate. We have Costco up in Canada, and Costco's like minimum wages is ridiculously higher than your average job of that nature, with a clear and constantly upgrading pay scale, and everybody who works there stays and is like fucking happy, you know, just to point it out. Policeman stunts, shakes me down, told me to leave, far out of town. So now it's like the cops are harassing him, like, yo, get the fuck out of here, we don't want you around, etc. And his attitude and his response, so what? You don't give a fuck, you know?
It's like the punk version of YOLO to me.
I mean, YOLO, if I'm not mistaken, is a punk concept that got jacked by Drake. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does not start with Drake.
Well, I'm not
I think
saying
it
who anybody
starts with-
started it.
With this kind of living.
I'm just saying, like, for me, because I didn't grow up with punk music,
Right.
this is the punk version of YOLO.
So the real version of YOLO. Coins to my name, not enough to get away, so he's not rich. He's stuck in a dead-end town, bound to the impound. I can relate, man. Like, when you make just enough to be, like, able to do some shit, not enough to do anything, you're fucking stuck. You know, he flows on Monday to Friday, try to get a payday, head in for the afterlife, only way my rights sway. Don't burn your life away, stick it to the ashtray, don't take no delay, get down on the highway. So this shit, this real world, this 9 to 5, it's not functional, it's not conducive to success, honestly, in a lot of ways. So it's got to take out that fast lane. And then he kind of satirically points out in the second verse, I think, so what I'm about to do, spend my time sniffing glue, water in the tank, take your way, give back our pay. Don't want it to be, waste my day frequently, so at the death of me, all I know is the enemy. And it's like he wants to just go and maybe live like a real free life, but systematically we're locked into these jobs to be forced into almost giving up everything of our creativity and shit. And I kind of get where he's coming from. So he's defying all of that. And that's what I feel like. This song is a generational defiance anthem for people to be like, fuck that shit too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it really accomplishes that goal. It's really fun to listen to. And guess what I gave it?
4.5?
I gave it a 4.5.
I give it a 3.8.
That's not as good as my grade.
It's an okay song. I get the energy, I get the attitude, I get the whole lifestyle, I get the whole thing, but 3.8.
Okay, so I guess we can move on to one that directly features the boy Tim Armstrong. No peace, no justice.
No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice.
So this is a cool song. We are commentating on social class injustice and shit like that. I love the chorus, no peace, no justice. Were we provoked or were we just bored? And I feel like that's honestly a good way to look at it. Some people feel that the youth are unhappy, bored, they have nothing to do, so they rebel. Or maybe they were provoked by a system that oppresses them, denies opportunity. Maybe there's some old school logic like go buy a house and it'll go up in value and everything's good. That's what we did when we were your age. But the price of a house is almost 100, you know, like let's say 10 times greater, and the salaries are about the same. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily as fun. Anyway, then Tim comes in. Damn, we crossed town, man. It was us against them. We took the buses. They took the trams. They were the baseball Furies. We were the Warriors. We follow our own path. They can't control us. And you get the sense of you got those guys who go to work and do their thing, and we're over here doing our own thing. There's almost this division, but, you know, even with that conflict, it's like they came in and they took on the opposition and they fucking won, you know, and I feel like that's an incredible thing, and I really love his voice. He's one of my favorite vocalists in music. Chorus comes back in, and then for Rat Boy's second verse, it honestly reminds me a little bit above the Men Without Hats song, Pop Goes the World. So if you pause this and go check that out, and then you go listen to his verse and this the overall flow, I don't know, you can let me know if I'm crazy, but that's what I heard when I heard that. Either way, he kind of does a more younger, I feel like a younger version of it, where he's like, my headphones tangle through the gaps in the bus, staring out the window past the bucker and dust, fresh graffiti, it's a statement on rust.
I really like that imagery.
You can't live life, never giving no trust. I said it before, I'd do it, never do it again. Let the world in before I talk to my friends. You know, it's kind of like this deepness that you're going on. Like the world is rough and hard, but he's got like people, you know, and he doesn't like dish out his problems on them through thick and thin. You don't know where I've been since the times got hard. I've got so thick skin. So he doesn't really share anything about him. That's like, sorry, I misrepresented that a bit, but he doesn't really share with anyone. He like kind of observes, and he just kind of his own little person, and he's just, I guess, trying to understand how to cope with it. Like you just feel this song has this, it's like a young person just trying to make sense of the world, and everything's so fucked up that he can't establish almost regular relationships with people, you know?
I did get a sense of confusion, a sense of disconnection, and trying to find answers, maybe a little bit of guidance in this song. I do think that there is like when the whole headphones line, I felt like that imagery kind of shows, like I kind of see him sitting there kind of confused, lost, and trying to just look around and trying to understand his society, which again is very relatable, and I think that's where he gets his spark, where it's like these are very normal things. Like this isn't like, oh my god, the girl stole my Bentley, and like shit that, you know, a lot of people might not have, but these are very normal.
But then in the third verse it gets a little more darker with like, and then there's kids on the streets with blood on their hands, and I know some of them because we're from the same old land, and I've walked 1,000 miles and I'm not sure where we're at. If I go in this direction I might never come back.
Right.
So you feel like he comes from the dark place, like the hood, we'll call it, like some equivalent of that rough patch of life. Shit wasn't great, and now he's at a crossroads, and he sees a lot of things going on. I really enjoy that, and it's like he wants to escape, is what I also feel, and maybe this whole album, this whole project, is his chance to do that. Either way, I really like this song. Again, I think it follows suit with the grade. I think the whole energy's on point. Sorry if we fucked up the interpretation at all. 4.5 on 5 again for me. I'm really fucking liking this album, even if it might just be my nostalgic love of this sound.
I gave it a 4.2.
All right, so that was the last one that had lyrics on the internet. The next one's called Flies. I really like this one. Again, it's super short. Like the verses are very short. The hook is like almost 2 lines, and then it kind of wraps in again. And it's got a very aggressive, almost really punky feel to this one. Like it's more on the punk side than anything else. There's a couple of really distinct lines that popped out at me, but the lyrics aren't out, so we can't go as deep into it. I'm sorry. I'm outnumbered. I know my favorite number, you know? So he's outnumbered, but his favorite number, I took that as being number 1. He can rely on himself and shit, you know? And it's just little things like that where, as much as it's not like, again, the densest shit, you really get this sense of his energy and his consistency. I like when he's like, suffer alone, I'm getting used to it, no one will miss me when I'm gone. And like he just captures this energy of living fast. He might die at any second. People don't necessarily love him. And there's an angst to this whole sound, like a real angst, but it doesn't sound like that fake ass almost shit that people make fun of. It really sounds like a genuine person just trying to get their pain out and their observations about life out.
I get a sense of like emptiness.
Yeah, and I think that I like the way he sings it on the chorus. So it feels like a callback to an earlier time, and I feel like this, again, it's different. So something we haven't touched on, I think, is that while all of the songs sound like they're produced from the same squad per se and have a consistency to them, they're crossing over all sorts of different styles and almost showcasing a wide array of different sounds that can be used, different tempos, different speeds, all of it with crazy cool drumming and instrumentation. I'm like blown away by the sound of this, how it sounds fresh on this project, 9 tracks in. So guess what I'm giving it? Yeah, you guessed right. It's another fucking 4.5. I really love this album so far.
The song got a 4 for me. And I think it's because I don't have the lyrics to fully follow along that I kind of, because at some points of the song, the instrumental is taking over the voice and the vocal kind of drowns out a little bit, which is not a bad thing.
Fine.
It's totally fine. Like
still like
it's part of what makes Rap Boy, and it is still part of what makes the music so good. It's just, it does impact me when I'm trying to follow along lyrically and trying to know what you're saying and trying to find things that I like. I did like the line, no one will miss me when I'm gone, that feeling of emptiness, that feeling of nobody cares, that feeling of, you know, again, that rejected feeling like I could die tomorrow and it's like I'm not going to leave a blemish or whatnot. You feel that pain, you kind of feel that like anxiety in him. But yeah, the song's good. It carries the same energy. You know, the consistency throughout the album so far has been great. But I'm going to have trouble in the last couple of songs, so 4.
All right, the next one is called Night Creature, and I'm not one anymore. I used to be.
Got my Air Max and outside, looking these streets with my feet on the concrete.
So, like, this one is totally drawing from a much more slowed down, sky kind of place, you know, more of that Islands vibe. You just get the sense of, again, he's on his own. He's a little bit socially isolated. He's a night creature with that hook. You get the sense that he roams a lot, and you can kind of picture him on the streets walking and always just kind of by himself. And the hook is nice. I do appreciate the additional vocals of Aimee Interrupter, but overall I felt like this was the first one we had really gotten to in a while where I was like, I'm not fully interested in the track as I was with the other ones, and it has a lot to do with the genre that I'm not as into. It's like we went from this crazy fast aggressive to like this more slowed down, and again, it's props to the versatility because again, music is well constructed, bass is on point, drums is on point, the leads are all on point. Even his singing style has like adapted to like this slower, kind of calmed out, like almost reggae-ish voice. But it just isn't what I'm as into. So I ended up giving this one a 4.25 because it fits in. It's like basically another song on this project thematically. This one focusing a little bit more on, you know, the essence of being that solitude-like creature. But yeah, it's fine. This one would be the first one I'd really consider skipping, but then there are also moments where I just let it play through.
I actually enjoyed the softer side of this song in terms of being like a night creature. Nighttime is kind of quiet. It's not always like fast lane party, right? Like if that's what you do, that's what you do. But most of the time, nighttime is, you know, you're going to sleep, you're going to bed, you're by yourself. It's quiet in the house. It's dark out. You know, there's a lot of alone time you would get at night. So I kind of like how he interpolates that soft, calming, slightly creepy feel, like just because you're like a night creature in a way, like just with the title. So that was interesting. I do like the female vocals on this track. That does really help a little bit. But again, like I couldn't really follow along with the lyrics, so there's some things that I didn't catch, or some things I might not have gotten. But I did leave this with a 4.2 because I really like the creativity of the song. Like we've been getting a lot of this high energy music, this high adrenaline rush of rebellious, you know, get out of my face, no type music. But like now we're kind of like suddenly slowing down and seeing the other side of Rap Boy, which shows again more diversity. Like first one was the rapidy rap, I can speed rap really quickly, but now it's like I can be calm, I can be quiet a little bit, you know. So that's what I felt from that. So 4.2.
That's fair. We're coming up to almost the end of the album, but before we get there, it's Dad's Crashed Car. This song is, again, like community-like anthemic in a sense where you're supposed to bond, I think, over this shit and unite, and then everybody's buddies by the end of it. But it starts off with him crashing his dad's car, and it's like, I can't go home again. And then he's like sitting there kind of almost being mopey in the crash car, like, my life sucks, nobody gets me, I'm on my own. He's all right though. It's like, and then it kind of starts flowing into like, the song is a little more progressive in that it changes a little bit more as like this song stacks on new elements. The drum patterns flip up a lot. The drumming on this track is absolutely ridiculous. It might be one of my favorite drum patterns on the entire track. And the chorus is so strong. One of my favorite parts is just shit like, people say we've given up, but we don't give a fuck. And it's just like, across the course of the song, it goes from being I'm all alone and miserable to we are fucked up but totally down, you know, like we are able to handle this shit. It just starts
two sides. I like that.
So like it starts off in such a dismal place, but it ends in this grand, like super triumphant ending. And considering where we just were in this isolated, almost calm, dismal place with Night Creature, it's like having such a catalyst to shake him up. It's like, I don't know, maybe being kicked out because you crashed a car and fucked shit up and had to run away or whatever, landed you up with your band of bandits to come and take over the whole fucking situation. I don't know. I really dug it.
I feel like
more than the Night Creature one. But at the same time,
it was more energetic than but it's more along your lines of like energy driven.
But
and
it's
like,
also like a little bit more poppy than some of the other ones. So for this one, I'm landing it at like a 4.35. It's not quite the 4.5, but it's definitely better than the last one.
Fair enough. What I liked about this and what I kind of understood with this song was like, yeah, we start off with the dad's crash car and he's all upset, and I feel like he's kind of doing a stream of consciousness where it's like, you got in trouble. You know you're about to get in trouble. So you're sitting there, you're contemplating, you're in denial, and then you hit that acceptance part, right? So now you accept that you're in trouble, and you're like, oh, well, because I'm a piece of shit, or blah, blah, blah. And then you start like self-destroying yourself, and you kind of do the whole, I feel like this song he's doing the whole process of how he deals with his situations or his experiences. And then I like how it transitions into this like band of people being a bunch of rebels, because it's like that is like level 100 of accepting himself. Like that is who he truly is. He's somebody who is gonna crash cars and make mistakes and fuck up and learn and grow. And it's kind of like he's taking the sense of human, like of being human, being a person, being imperfect, and then making that into his own perfection.
Right.
So that's what I really took from that. But I just didn't like I didn't really like the overall kind of feel to the song though. Like
that's fine.
It was okay. It was just another track. So 4 out of 5.
All right, and the last one on the album is called SILVERLAKE.
The road that a dead-end street, so you know where we're gonna be found. Everybody's
This one kind of feels like a drinking song in the pub with your boys, because you got your clinking glasses, and we're gonna.
It's like celebratory.
If
like,
we stick together, we gonna be all right. We're 6,000 miles from London, you know, chilling up in our grungy little world.
but I like that though. I like that type of. I like the loyalty he's portraying on this, the respect, the whole like camaraderie about it, the, you know, stick together as a group, and you'll find your friends, you'll find your circle, you'll find your path.
Yeah.
Like throughout this whole like throughout the album and going through all like the emotional and like rejectedness and feeling dark inside and all this stuff, it's nice to come to like that other side where he's like, throughout all of my darkness, I still have my buddies. I still have my drinks. I still have my friends. I can still
almost like because of
that.
all of this,
Yeah.
I found them all. And then like almost like to take all of the like maybe more crazier themes of the album and to culminate it like, yeah, but because of it, we're able to bond and have our community, our like situation. And
right.
like again, you can just feel like this song is meant to be played while you're getting some smash it, you're getting your drink on, everybody's being camaraderie at the house party and some shit. Maybe you're in a loft somewhere and the music's fucking flowing and everybody's singing along, and it's so jolly. And like this one is legitimately just uplifting. Like it's such a cool way to end the project, like almost like a celebration, like you finally made it, both like in life. I mean, he's got the decent record deal shit going on. He's fucking around with some proper people. He's clearly not where it used to be. And I think you really feel that appreciation in this song compared to some of the other ones.
It's like celebrating. I feel like this song is their way of celebrating and just paying thanks to everything that has happened.
But still, I give it a 4.25 because as much as it is what it is and all the good stuff, it's not really as fun for me to listen to. I'm fine with that. So I like it. It's a good way to end the project objectively. Subjectively, 4.25.
4.
All right, so that's the end of this album. As a project, I give it a 4.46. So for the most part, these songs hit like this sweet spot of like late 90s, early 2000s punk music mixed with hip hop, mixed with all sorts of other subgenres fused together. Rat Boy can sing, Rat Boy can rap, so he knows how to bang out a proper hook. His verses are fun, high energy, and he manages to really exude this rebellious youth punk themed character that feels authentic and not just edgy for the sake of being edgy. And I gotta give him all props on that because it's fucking cool. So yeah, I think it's a pretty great album, and it makes me want to go check out his older work while simultaneously remaining excited for what's to come from him. So yeah, that's what I think about that.
I gave the album a 4.1. Being introduced to this and not ever really listening to this type of sound, it was really great. It was a really nice adventure to go through. Not once did I think that, again, like I know there's some songs on here that I was like, they're okay, but not once did I ever get bored though. It may not be my taste, it may not be my preference, but not once did the album, okay, I'm bored now. That didn't happen. There is that sense of energy and vibe and I'm going to say curiosity that you want to continue going to see what next there is. Even though it's not your taste or your flavor, it's still like, but the next one. But the next one.
Like
so
it's just so well made in terms of the band and the instrumentation. Yeah. Like there's no real fuck ups. It's a well made album.
Yeah, exactly. 4.1.
So thank y'all for watching. We totally appreciate you sticking it through. And for those who skipped to the end, we still appreciate you.
Thank you.
Definitely feel free to leave a comment. We're a small enough channel that I answer literally every comment that comes in, and I would love to talk to you and hear your experiences about Rat Boy, what you thought of our review, all of that. Even if you like know the guy or grew up in the hood, or Rat Boy, if you're watching this, holla at me, dude. You're like the fucking coolest. Anyway, special thanks to the patrons, Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Super Old School 1994, and Lindell Williams. They support what we do. They helped us get our new camera that hopefully looks better than our older videos in terms of clarity. We don't know yet. This is our first use tonight. I mean, it's our second video with it, but it's our first use, so we don't even know what it looks like edited yet. We're fucking with settings. We're learning. We're growing. And if you want to help us grow and get better and join the request pool where you get to pick albums we do and all sorts of good shit, you can support us there. If not, please hit that subscribe button. We get out more reviews, grow our understanding of the musical cultures together. You can hit the like button if you dug this. You can leave a comment. We can talk. And if you want to check out my music, the link below of my album is in just flashed up, is in the description of this. I fucked up that sentence, but it's on all of your fucking platforms, and you can check me out. Let me know what you think. On that note, holla at us on Twitter and all the good stuff.
Twitter plugs.